Welcome back, friends. It's Melanie with Melanie Stamps. Today I have three really detailed and fun cards for you. I am using BiBi Cameron's Hummingbird Collection, and these three detailed cards are being made, and I hope you will stick out to the end and enjoy the process with me. Hi, friends. Today we are going to play around with BiBi Cameron's Hummingbird Collection. I have been wanting to play with this for some time since it was released. That's back when I purchased it. And this is a beautiful collection. There's a hummingbird and lily die set, which comes with this cloud border die, which we'll be using today, along with the build a hummingbird and then a lily that you can build also, which is gorgeous. So we'll be playing with that. And then this is it's called Delicate Floral Hummingbirds. And this is a card creator for a 5x7 card. Of course, you can snip it apart and create smaller cards with it as well, just by fussy cutting little areas. But we're going to go ahead and make it as intended today. So we have that one, and that is lots and lots of little pieces, but makes a beautiful outcome. Then we have this one. This is a card creator that makes a shaped card. It's called the Hummingbird Card Creator. And it comes with all these flower die sets, which are gorgeous. I mean, you have multiple stems to pick from and then multiple flower sets to choose from. So we will be doing a shaped card as well. Then there's this Hummingbird Texture 6x6 stencil. It gives you 3 different stenciling options. And then this is a Hummingbird Sentiment set. So I actually have not stamped sentiments for these. I don't have that planned, but I may add them after the video. But they have really pretty sentiments. May the wind always be at your back and the sun upon your face. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope your day is wonderful. Lifting you up in prayer and hoping you have a better day. I really like that one. Happy birthday to beautiful you. Let your dreams take flight. Your kindness means everything. That's nice. I like the word kindness. Well, our world needs more kindness. Just flying by to say hello. Friends make the world beautiful. Do small things with great love. You brighten my day, thinking of you, sending healthy vibes your way. I like that. Always here for you. So it's very, very uplifting and positive sentiment. So this is a good one even if you don't have the collection. It's called Hummingbird Sentiments, but like I said, you don't need hummingbirds to have that if you're not a hummingbird person. This is a really good one. So anyways, so for this one here, I went bold and bright. I've already gotten a lot of the die cutting and work done just so to save time, because these are a little more intricate and they're not hard. They're not difficult. Actually, it's almost easy because the dies are so perfectly matched to the underneath that it fits. I'm trying to show you that it fits so snugly and perfectly that, I mean, you can't mess up. I mean, it just sits on there perfect. So now you don't have to be perfect. Matter of fact, on the packaging, they show all of the leaves and stuff offset. So you can do that for a two-tone look. So you have options here to go offset a little bit for a shadow effect. So don't feel like there's rules or anywhere. So you can see the shadow right there. So I actually went and put them directly on, like using the background die as a map, just to show you how incredibly precise that they actually are. So if you're unsure of placement, this is a foolproof way of placement. So even the like background dies have indentions in them to show you like where the face lines up. Matter of fact, on the one we're doing, let's see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Let's see. Yeah, it does somewhat. But there's actually an indention right in here that shows you where that white piece is going to actually fall into place. So it gives you a roadmap, so to speak. So let's go ahead and build the rest of this card. So we'll go ahead and do the hummingbird. And I mean, you can just put the package right next to you if you want to follow that. Or you can just use this as your roadmap. I have, and actually, let me explain how I got these colors. I was on a trip, and it was like a crop of sorts, and I didn't want to take a lot of paper with me. So I took all my scraps, which was like 2 big Ziplocs, gallon Ziplocs, like. So I took all of them, and I took my Distress Oxide inks and white paper. So all of these on here, except for the leaves in the background I brought 2 colors of green paper for those. Everything else is Distress Oxide inks. And all I did was color my paper with the Oxide inks with brushes. And then I die cut my paper out. And that's how I got all of these colors. It was really, really easy, but that's how I got a light and a dark tone. I just used 2 Oxide inks. Same with this. I just went darker on the tips. After I die cut it out, I just added a little dark on that, but all of this is just different oxides. So, you know, you can just have white cardstock and your Oxide inks or any dye-based ink other than oxides. This little tail, it shows you right here. This is where you put the glue, and the body sits right in there in its little place. Super easy. And we can go ahead and see that fits right there. And I am going to go ahead. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put his face on because I'm talking. Didn't put his face on. Okay, it came off, so that's good. I put a little black cardstock back here for his eye, to cover up his eye. See? My camera's not focusing very well tonight. Oops. The white piece goes on first onto the gold background. Then we'll put this little guy on that same area where it shows you. Now they do have a little die for that eyeball. And I just chose to do that black cardstock underneath. There we go. There's focused. And I think it looks just fine. I didn't want to fuss with that little tiny itty bitty piece. So that works. Just a little tiny scrap. So now I'm going to go ahead, because it does look like these need to be go ahead and glue these down first, and then we'll put the body on. Someone had mentioned, and I'm sorry that I forget your name right now at this moment, but that in my Copic video, it was hard to see what I was doing. So I'm hoping the camera is in a better placement so it's easier to see what I'm doing. I do appreciate that feedback. I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, where is your other wing? I know I saw it just a second ago. Oh, here it is. If this gets too long, I'll go ahead and fast forward this, but hopefully I can get all this done. There we go. And then this should go right over top. Yep. You know, my head is not in the right place. There we go. It was just off a little bit. This beak is very fragile, so I'm just making sure there's a little glue under the tip. I love that gold cardstock. Those little accent pieces are really nice. There we go. Okay, and for this flower up here, we will go ahead and glue this down. And this butts up right against it. So neat, it's just like a puzzle piece. Okay, we'll get these green leaves on here. Got the little stamens that go inside the flower. We can hook those on the back of it that come out from the center of the flower. The little buds. So I did them in the same color as the flowers. Perfect fit. And then we'll go ahead and put these stamens on the back. I'm gonna hold, because it's metallic paper, I'm gonna have to hold that for a second. But that way they're just poking out a little bit. And that hummer is going up there to get a drink. And then we just have the purple flower left, the little tiny purple flower, and we'll go ahead and just put it right there. And there's our panel. So we'll just put it on a black card base. Okay, so we got all the glue on the back of it. And now we'll just place this down on the 5x7 card base, and it fits perfectly. We'll just layer that down for our finished card. There we go. I just thought those colors looked so good on black. They just really make that card pop. Can you imagine just pulling that out of an envelope? So, and I may not even put a sentiment on this. I think it kind of speaks for itself. I might put it on the inside. One of those really heartwarming sentiments. I'll put it on the inside of that one. So that's the first one, and that is Delicate Floral Hummingbirds. So for our second one, we will do the card creator, because I've already done up 2 of the little bouquets. We just have like 3 or 4 little buds to put on that, so this is all little extra pieces. There's the belly. So to do this, to make a hinged card base, you take the large creator die from the package. Let me get him out here. And you're going to take your file, like if this was your card base, this is the envelope, but if this was your card base, you would take your card base and it would have your fold here. And you're going to put this over your fold so that the wing and the tail here are hanging over your edge of your paper, the fold of your paper. And then you're going to cut this, and you're going to keep it folded, your card folded, so it cuts through both layers. And you might have to run it through your die cut machine a couple times, depending on the pressure of your die cut machine. If you don't want this, if your plates are really, really gashed up from going through that die cut machine, put a piece of printer paper here, and that will protect the back of your card from getting messed up on the back here. And then you'll have the hinge that creates the hinge of your card. And then what I do is I cut one from my cardstock, a full bird from my cardstock, and I also cut a white one from my thick cardstock. And this does 2 things. It gives this construction, it gives it support, because you know you've got this little section and you got holes here, so it gives it support. But it also, when you put this on here, which we're going to do right now, go ahead and just put a lot of glue. We're going to put this on here. Oh, you know, I didn't ink that other wing, but you know, such is life. We will move on and ink it afterwards. No biggie. Okay, so we're gonna get him on there and line him up like a good boy. Trying to make sure he covers up the white as best as possible. You guys are the same size. Okay. All right, so, and now when you turn the card over, this is white and not purple. That would be purple if my purple cardstock was showing. Or if you had like a pattern paper that you had on your card and it had another pattern on the other side, you'd have a pattern paper there. Or it would be a really thin paper. You know, if you just covered this with a thin paper from a paper pad or something. So I like to put that thick paper back there, and it makes for a sturdier card also. So I am going to get a little inky here. I'm pretty sure I used Wilted Violet. It was last week. Yeah. So we will just ink this up to look like that other side so you can see what I did. And I just did that to add a little bit of dimension is all I did. Okay, and I put I put some down on the bottom wing also. Okay. So, let me get a baby wipe real quick. We will go ahead and put our little body on. Now for our body, I cut these 2 pieces and I did purple glitter here for the back one, which I thought was cute. So we'll go ahead and put this on. And here again, there's little lines that show you exactly where to put it. Thank you, Spellbinders. We love how easy you make this. All right, let me get my pieces for the head. It's being stubborn. Yes, I talk to my paper. Do you guys talk to yourself when you're crafting? I would like to know. Leave me a comment down below and tell me, do you talk to yourself when you're crafting? Or is it just me? Look at this real quick. Make sure I'm putting this on right. Okay, these 2. And then I'm going to put the beak on first. These all notch in together. Because all of those notch like together really perfectly right there. Look, such a pretty, so pretty. And what this does is it ends up forming the eye in the middle, which for the life of me I'm not seeing at this moment. So Melanie may not have cut an eye. Which would be kind of comical. Oops. Okay. And then we'll put this guy. And I also did this guy in the purple glitter. And when you put that on there, it leaves you room for the eyeball. When you have it in place all the way, the eyeball is the perfect shape. But I don't have an eyeball at the moment. So, okay. You know what I'll do? I'm going to, do I have black gems? I bet you I can put a black gem right there. Let's see. Because it's just a black gem, or just a... Look at there. I might just do that. I think I am. I think I am just going to do that. Going to take this second largest, put it right there. Ta-da! That is 2 cards I fixed today. I had another card in another video that I actually fixed on the fly. So These are, just in case you want to do eyes the easy way, these are, what are these? These do not have, oh, Fashion Jet Self-Adhesive Embellishments, SCS211. Cool. Okay, those came in handy. All right, and then for these, all we have to do is decide where we want these on our wings and put them down. And then we will build a couple of our little flowers, and we'll put them on there, and this card will be finished. There we go. This glue, the Barely Art glue, does dry clear, so that little bits that's coming out around the edges will dry clear and not interfere with the look of the card. These are little pieces, so, and I'm trying to get little bits of glue on all those little places. Thanks to the precision tip of this glue bottle, I can do that. All right, we'll put that one right there. And then I just need to make, it looks like 1, 2, 3 flowers real quick to finish him off. So we will get 3 of that and 3 circles. Let's see here, 1. Oh, there's his eye. That is too funny. I like the 3-dimensional eye though better. There's his 3rd. Okay. Those centered, and I'm not seeing the 3rd one. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just glue these 2 on, and I'll have to add that 3rd one at a later time. You guys get the idea. Okay, don't stick to my finger, little man. And there we go. So this one will go right there, and I'll get a glue center, a center gold to put right there, and she will be done. I really like that 3-dimensional eyeball. All right, so card number 3. This is definitely going to be a little longer of a video because we're doing some detail work, but hopefully y'all will hang in there with me. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to show you a sample of how I did this background. just because of time. But I used the die in the package. This is the Hummingbird and Lily. And this die that I showed you at the beginning, I cut out. And I use this as my stencil. So I put it like here. And then I inked. And then I moved it. And you don't want to go straight up. You want to move it each time you ink. You want to move it. And every time you ink, you're going to get, you know, this is going to cover up the area that's going to be the cloud. So, and your inking is going to give you the shadow of the cloud. So for here, I did it kind of this way. And then here, I moved it over all the way over here and did it this way. And then I kind of tilted it a little bit and went this way. And then I tilted it again and went this way. And then when I was done, I had me some clouds. So I'll just show you a couple here real quick. Just to give you a quickie idea on some scrap paper. Start this bottom one. You just want to make sure not to move the stencil. This bottom one's probably the hardest just because you're all the way, you know, at the bottom. You can tape it down, but I didn't worry about it. I just went with it. Okay. And I got a little gap there, but I'm just doing this to show you the idea. And then maybe, let's see, why don't I move it down here and we'll do one like this. That's nice. It's nice that they did this border extra long so you can move it different ways. And I'm not worrying about major blending or anything right now. I just wanted to show you, just to give you the idea. You know, I would normally spend more time on the blending and stuff. But you see, and that's how you get that look. So give it a try if you've never done this before, because you could, you know, and this is the first time I've ever done it in purple, and I really love the way it turned out. But I wanted my bird in blue. So my mom's favorite color is blue, and she loved hummingbirds. So I hadn't done any blue in the first two cards, and I was like, I have to do my mom blue hummingbird. So she would have loved that, and she would have requested it for sure. So that's why I went with purple for the clouds. So I hope that was helpful. Ink the bird's body. It is actual cardstock, but the flower is inked with inked cardstock. That's how I came up with the color for the lily itself. So let's go ahead and do the lily first. The lily comes in 3 pieces. Okay, why don't we do the flower buds first? And then we'll build our flower. So for the flower buds, the buds themselves come in 2 pieces, and you build them right on this background piece. So I actually colored these here in the oxides, the paper in the oxides in a couple colors, and then I cut them out, and then all of the flower pieces I just kind of splattered with water to get the droplets of water on them. But you put the big piece on first, and then you put this little slender piece down the center to make it look like the bud. So you do that on both of them. Really super easy. There you See? So that's going to go about here. And we have 2 leaves. And we have this other piece of branch that's going to shoot. Oh, let me move it up a little bit. There we go. Sorry about that. So we're going to have this other little piece. I'm going to go ahead and attach this, I think. Well, maybe I'll wait till I get my flower up there. Okay, the flower comes in 3 pieces. Let me see which one of these I want. This one, I like the color better. Okay, so it comes in 2 large pieces and then 1 small piece. And they have this matching corner right here. It kind of looks like a dolphin. So you're going to hook those pieces together like so. And actually you could, if you wanted to, use 3D. I wonder if we should do the 3D foam. Because then this piece is going to come down here and kind of hide the fact that we're then going to have the stamens coming out here. So if we pop this up, it would pop all of that up. Let's go ahead and give it a try. We'll experiment together. Let's see, it would be, put a little bit here and maybe a half. Down here. Okay, so I'm gonna, whoops, everything's sticking to me. I'm getting gluey fingers. So we're gonna line those little, like, it looks like a dolphin, I swear. It looks like a dolphin jumping out of the water. Like his little nose and his head. So we're gonna hook those there, and that, you know, gives it dimension. That's kind of cool. And then I'm going to sit that right there. And then this piece is going to be covering up that little circle. That little circle is to glue. That's where you put your glue. So we're going to cover that glue spot up like that. So let's move it down a little bit more. Okay, whoops. So I'm going to put this I'm going to glue it all the way down because I want my flower bud or flower petal to be as low as possible, I think, for the look I like. So I think I'm going to put that there. Let's see how that'll look. And then we'll put it there. Yeah, I like that. So then I'm going to run my glue just along there and cover up the glue area right there. Just hold that for a second because it's got that foil underneath it. Actually, I'm going to tilt that just a little bit. It's still moving because of doesn't stick to that foil very good. Gives you some maneuverability though to decide where you want that. Isn't that pretty? And those little water droplets make it look more real. I just love that. Okay, so this is then going to attach to this area right here. So we can go ahead and hook that somewhere in here. So I think I will, let's see where I want that. I don't want to hook it to this right now because it's too, it's still drying. So let's see where we'll want this. We'll move this over a little bit, see where we're going to glue that. think it's going to be just like that. So I'm going to glue this down, the stem. I want to stay on the card because this is a 5x7. I'm not going to glue that top down because I think that flower is going to float underneath it. So I'm just going to glue the stem down right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and I might have this attach up here. I think that's how I'm going to do it, like that. And then I'll cover that junction up with the leaf. And this I'm going to glue all the way down because the flower is going to be covering a lot of this top part. So I'm going to put that there. And then this leaf, I'll put it right here, covering that little area where those two come together. Now let's see what this one looks like. I want that one on there. Yeah, I'll put that right there. And I think I'm going to leave the tip of this up because I'm going to put a dimensional or 3D foam under the top tip of it. One of those little ones. Let's see if I can get it to fit. Well, I got a half one here. Yeah, like that. All right, then we'll go ahead and glue our flower down. I'm just going to glue this base one down since everything else is elevated. And we will sit that right under this, like so. Gives it kind of a layered look. Looks, you know, makes it look natural. And I'm tilting that over just a little bit so this part shows underneath. And sit that down. That dimension is wonderful, isn't it? Okay, then let's build our bird. Build the bird. Now for mine, I went ahead and did this a little differently than the picture. I had cut it out of both colors. So I'm going to give him a little cast shadow back here and just layer him up just a little bit with the darker shadow behind him. And he has pretty sure this beak gets glued on the tip here. So I do not see that portion in the picture. Kind of a lot of glue that I put there, so I'm scraping a little bit off. Then I'm going to put a little glue right there where this eye piece is going. that? Okay. And then there's a decorative, or there's an indented line there that shows you exactly where the belly goes. And I think I'm going to put, let's see, I'm gonna need these two to go with these, because I'm gonna put this, okay, I want to put this one under the belly just a little bit. So I'm going to put this one on first. Then I'm going to put the belly on. And it is literally drawn right on there for you, so you know exactly where to put it. See? He's coming along. Uh-oh. Oh. I bumped his beak. Okay. I'm going to lay him down there for a sec. Let him dry. Now, for his wings, one of them is going to go behind this one, and the other one I'm going to put behind him. I'm going to go ahead and attach this. This isn't where this is supposed to go. It actually is supposed to go down here. And I'm going to put this one down here. But I wanted the extra light color on this wing, and I couldn't find the other one. So somehow I think it got thrown away in the hotel where I was at. So I'm just going to use this. And this one comes out like this. So there's his wings. And by putting this one up here, it gave it a little depth there as well. Then we'll put his bottom wing on, and it shows you right there where to put the glue. And it goes behind. And there's our hummingbird. So now we'll just put him right up here. And our project will be done. I'm going to go ahead and give him a black eye too. Ha 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 ha. Play on words there. She's going to come in for some nectar. Maybe, let's see if these are tiny enough. Because I also have the rhinestones. Ooh, the rhinestones are tinier. I'll use a rhinestone. Yes, that will be awesome. Oh, these are perfect for the eyes. It fits right in the hole there for the eye. And that is a black rhinestone. Color Essential Gems. So there it is. And I'm going to just put this on a regular white hard base right here. Like that. And I will probably, I'm not going to do it here on camera because we have already extended this video almost, well, by the time I edit it, hopefully it'll be around 40 minutes and not an hour. But I will probably put a sentiment right down here. So when you see the finished card, you'll see that sentiment there. I'll do it in the same wilted violet probably, maybe black, I'm not sure. But anyways, I hope you've enjoyed the cards today. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.